Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Math grade 6. Today we want to review the inequalities. What's the meaning of inequality? If I want to compare between two things, I use the sign less than or equal than. So less than or equal than between two sides. The two sides here suppose expressions. So any signal greater than or less than between two expressions means we have inequality. And inequality include greater than or less than or greater than or equal or less than and equal, and include variable, include constant, include coefficients. So watch with me now this video.
حليب النمو أبتمل جونيور المعزز بالبريبيوتكس يلي بتدعم نظام طفلك المناعي.
Welcome to Moo Math and translating words to inequalities in graphs. These statements use the greater than symbol. Greater than, exceeding, above, and more than. These statements use the greater than or equal to symbol. At least, no fewer than. These statements use the less than symbol. Fewer than, below, less than. And finally, these statements use the less than or equal to symbol. No more than, not above, does not exceed, at most. Follow these simple steps for translating words into inequalities. Circle the word, write the inequality, substitute a number, then we'll plot on a number line. Let's get started. Okay, let's look at some example problems of translating words into inequalities. This first one says, there are at least 3 students who wore their white shirts today. What we're going to do is we're going to identify and even circle the keywords. We're going to write the inequality. We can substitute a value in to test it, and then we will plot it on a number line. So in this particular example, the keyword is at least. Okay? And so I will write at least. Okay? Next, let's go with the writing the inequality. At least, we would say x is greater than and equal to 3. So that it means at least. Well, let's test 2, and let me show you how this works. This first one, let's go ahead and choose 7. Okay? So what we would do is 7 is greater than or equal to 3. Is 7 greater than or equal to 3? Yes. So our inequality passed the test. What if we use 2? We could say 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Well, that is not true, so it needs to be at least, so we have our inequality set up properly. Next, we'll move down to the number line, and whenever you have an greater than or equal to or less than or equal, you will use a closed symbol. So I will use a closed symbol, okay, which means that the 3 is included, and then it will be greater than or equal to 3. So, and I'll show you the open symbol here in just a second. Let's go ahead and move to the next one, okay? Next up, we have the park is fewer than 10 miles from downtown. So the key word is fewer than, okay? So I'll write fewer than, okay? The inequality is going to be x is less than 10, okay? And let's test our inequality. Let's go with 8 first. 8 is less than 10. Yes. Now let's go ahead and plot it. And x is greater than 7, and so it will be open because the 7 will not be included. And then it's going to be less than or equal to 10, so it will be closed, and I've darkened in this, so the numbers will be in between these two. Hope that helps. Thanks for...
Okay, this is the meaning of inequality and the meaning of the sign what we use inside the inequality. Okay, today we want to learn how to check the solution of inequality, how to graph inequality, and how to solve inequality. So watch with me this video now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'd like to do is talk to you about what exactly is an inequality. And to understand inequality, I think it's helpful to understand an equation. Now, when we dealt with an equation, basically equation came from equal, right? We said that one side was equal to another side. And the way that we represented it was the equal sign, which writing in with an equal sign now produces what we call an equation, where one side, again, is equal in value to the other side. So when we're talking about inequalities, basically what an inequality is, sometimes they include part of like an equation, which we have the less than or equal to. So this is less than, and this is the or equal to. Okay, so less than or equal to. Okay, or you could have greater than or equal to. Okay, so pretty much this just represents greater than, and this says greater than or equal to. So looking at an equation, if I give you an equation, x is equal to 5. Well, now, based on that equation, we know that the value of x is the same as 5, right? But when we start using these inequality symbols, anyways, let me go back to the equation again. So therefore, we know that equation is true only when the value of x is equal to 5. Because if I plug in a value of 4 in for that, 4 equal to 5. Let's say value of x is 4. Well, obviously 4 is not equal to 5, right? Those are not the same values, so therefore that is not equal. So the only time an equation is equal is when, and for this equation, is when 5 is equal to 5. However, when we have an inequality, now it's saying x is less than 5. Well, there's multiple solutions, right? There's going to be multiple answers. You could have negative 1 is less than 5. 2 is less than 5. 1.7 is less than 5. 2/3 is less than 5. 0 is less than 5. So there's infinite many solutions. And so that's why what we like to do is we like to set a graph. Or we graph our solution. So if I say here's 5, here's 0, what we do is we put a circle at that point, and then we shade and this shading represents all the points that are all the solutions that make this inequality true. The next thing is, what about when I say less than or equal to? Because when I write in 5 is less than 5, that is false, right? 5 is not less than 5, right? So therefore, that's why we leave the circle open, because it's not a part of the solution, but that's still going to be kind of like our starting value. However, when I say 5 is less than or equal to, then that means any number that's less than 5 or is equal to 5. Well, the only number that's equal to 5 we know is actually 5. So at 5, since that is equal to, that is a part of the solution, so we go ahead and shade it in there. So basically inequalities, are going to, sometimes they represent an equals, and sometimes they just represent values that are either less than or greater than. And when we look into creating our solutions, they're going to have more than one solution. So that's why we like to graph our solutions. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is just kind of your basic definition of an inequality for less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Thanks.
Okay, we have a new vocabulary What's the meaning of inequality? What's the meaning of inequality? Inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares quantities. Hello, we have the second word, less than. This sign means less than. And here we have greater than. This sign means greater than. And here we have less than or equal. This sign means we have less than or equal. And this sign means greater than or equal. Watch with me this video now.
Hello, this is Mr. Buffington, and we are going to look at inequality word phrases. We are going to have a bit of an inequality dictionary, then we're going to look at some inequality problems, and then we're going to practice a little bit, a lot. All right, all of this is basically practice. Let's look at our inequality dictionary. This symbol, this one, and this one are all of the symbols for inequalities. And in a dictionary type way, I'm going to kind of define the term in ways that they would be used in a word problem. So the green symbol is the less than symbol. It's also the symbol that you would use to show in a word problem somebody having less than somebody else. Like, I have less cocoa than you do, or you have less marbles than I do. And that would be a word phrase, or Jim has less than 5 marbles, right? It would be that type of symbol that would be used for those phrases. The greater than symbol, we could also use the word greater than, but typically in word phrases we use more than. So I have more money than you, or I have more money than $10. How would I write that as a word phrase? Things of that example. The yellow symbol there, at least as much as. This is the greater than or equal to. And it seems funny to say at least when we're talking about greater than, but that's what it means. If someone has at least $5, it means that they have $5 or more. So Jim's money is at least $5. You would say Jim is greater than, his money is greater than or equal to $5. And the same way, the less than or equal to sign could be shown by saying it's the same or less, or at most. You have at most won 5 gold medals. That means you have less than or equal to 5 gold medals. So those are just a couple of ways, and it makes us think about inequalities in a different way, but here is just kind of my inequality dictionary as far as word phrases go. All right, now let's actually look at some word phrase problems, and we can practice step by step along the way here. Write the inequality using n for the variable. The cost increased by $43 and is more than $200. The way that we would write this as an inequality would look something like this. The cost, n, was increased by $43, so the cost plus 43 is now more than 200. So you've got that more than, which is the greater than symbol. You've got increased by, so that's addition. Now that's the way we would write an inequality. Now for your practice, I want you to figure out what is the original price. What's the original price? You need to solve this inequality. Pause the video and try to do that. Hey, welcome back. When you're solving an inequality, you find your variable n, say what's connected to it, plus 43, and then you do the inverse, which is to subtract 43 from both sides of this inequality, leaving us with n is greater than 157. So what that means is that our cost is greater than 157 at the beginning, then it increased by 43, and so now the cost is at more than 200. We have to also ask ourselves at this point, does this make sense? And the number does make sense. It was greater than 157, because when we added that 43 is greater than 200. But in some ways it sort of doesn't make sense, because the cost could be more than 200 starting off, right? If our original cost was $500, you add 43, it is more than 200. So it's kind of a funny sentence, as are all of these. They don't make much sense in the real world, but it should, at least the numbers should make sense at the end. Let's go on to another question that makes no sense. Tarzan and Jane have more than 6 monkey pets. Jane has only 1 monkey. Write Tarzan's inequality. So Tarzan's inequality, how would we write that down? And this is your job. So I want you to pause the video and try and write Tarzan's inequality for how many monkeys he has. Tarzan's inequality was that Tarzan's was greater than or more than the total number of monkeys, 6, minus 1, Jane's. So Tarzan has more than 6 or more than 5 monkeys. All right? So for Tarzan and Jane to have more than 6 monkey pets, if Jane only has 1, Tarzan has more than 5, which we would use the greater than symbol. If it said at least 5, then it would be the greater than or equal to, but in this case it is just greater than. So again, we ask ourselves at the end of doing these questions, does the number make sense? Tarzan has 5 monkeys, Jane has 1, or Tarzan has more than 5. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, it's kind of a dumb question, so no, it doesn't really make any sense, but at least the numbers make sense. That's what we're focusing on, numbers. All right. Now we're going to write in another inequality using x for our variable. Here it is. I drive at least 20 miles per hour. Write an inequality to show how far I drove in 5 hours. So you can pause the video, try to do that. I want you to write an inequality using x for your variable that shows I drive at least 20 miles an hour for 5 hours. Welcome back. Hopefully you wrote an inequality. At least is kind of a funny one, so check to make sure that you have the inequality written in the correct way. This is how I would write it. X is my variable, and x is greater than or equal to 20 miles per hour times 5 miles per hour. In other words, the amount that I drive, x, is going to be greater than or equal to 20 times 5. At least 20 miles an hour means that you're driving 20 miles per hour or more, so it's 20 miles an hour or greater. Okay, that's why we would use the greater than symbol. So the amount that I drove in 5 hours is greater than or equal to 100. And again, we ask ourselves, does that number make sense? If you're driving 5 hours, 20 miles an hour, it would equal to 100. But again, does the question make sense? No, absolutely not. Why would you drive 20 miles an hour for 5 hours? That'd be kind of a waste of your time. Then again, the question, you might be driving 100 miles an hour. And if that's the case, your answer is greater than 100. But it's kind of a funny question. Oh my goodness, all of these questions are kind of ridiculous. All right, so a couple of tips. Don't try to make sense of word problems with inequalities, because oftentimes they won't make any sense at all. And then practice, 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 because it is important that you get a little bit of practice writing the symbols at least in the correct way.
Okay. Now we have example number 1. In this example, we want to learn how to know if the value of variable inside the inequality is a right solution or a wrong solution. Look to this question: is the given value a solution of this inequality? We have this inequality now, x plus 3 exactly greater than 9, greater than 9. هلا check is x equal 4 a solution, and check if x equals 7 a solution. The first case here, take if x equal 4. Go back to the same inequality and substitute the x equal 4. Put the value of x equal 4. So I can write now 4 plus 3. Is it greater than 9? At this moment I don't know, so put question mark, then check. 4 plus 3 will be 7. 7 greater than 9. Logically, this speech is wrong. 7 not greater than 9. 7 less than 9. So that means this solution make the inequality wrong. Make the equality wrong. That means x equal 4, not solution to this inequality. Not solution to this inequality. Now take the next value for x equals 7. Go back to the same inequality and substitute x equals 7. That means 7 plus 3 greater than 9. I don't know now, so put question mark. Then check. 7 plus 9 will be 10. 10 greater than 9. This is correct. So this solution x equals 7 make the inequality here is correct. So that means x equals 7 is a solution to this equality. X equals 7 is a solution to this inequality. Example 2. Want to revise how to graph the inequality. How to graph the inequality. We have this inequality y equal 3. The first step, draw the number line, then determine number 3. Here we have 0, 1, 2, this is 3. Now look to the sign. If the sign exactly greater than or less than, draw open circle, unshaded circle, draw open circle. Then determine the direct. Now here we have y greater than. So the direction to the right, the direction to the right. Example number 3. Here we have x less than 2, exactly less than. This inequality, x less than 2. How to graph this inequality? The first step, draw the number line, then determine number 2. Here we have 0, here we have 1, here we have 2. Now look to the sign. If the sign exactly less than or greater than means open, draw open circle, draw open circle. Now determine the direction now. Here we have x less than 2. So the direction where? To the left, the direction to the left. Now example 4. Here we have this inequality, m greater than or equal, m greater than or equal 4. So here we have in the sign equal. So the first step, draw the number line, then determine the number 4. Here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then always when you have equal in the sign, draw the shaded circle, draw the closed circle. Then determine the direction. Here m greater than. So that's mean to the right. The direction where? To the right. The direction to the right. Example 5. Graph the inequality n less than or equal 1. N less than or equal 1. The first step, draw the number line, determine number 1. Here we have 0, here we have 1. Then look to the sign. If you have inside the sign equal, that's mean draw a closed circle or shaded circle. Then determine the direction. Here n less than 1. N less than 1 means the direction to the left. The direction to the left. Now how to solve the equation? How to solve the inequality? How to solve the inequality? We have this inequality, for example, x plus 1 less than 4. Always must to keep the variable as alone in the same side. That means try to cancel the number. Here we have plus 1. If I add the opposite this number to the two sides, I can remove plus 1. How? X plus 1, the opposite plus 1 is minus 1. less than 4 minus 1. Here plus 1 and minus 1 will be what? Will be 0. So remains here x, remains here x. Now in the next side here we have 4 minus 1. Here we have 4 minus 1 will be through. It will be 3. So x less than 3. X less than 3. This is the solution for this inequality. This is the solution for this inequality. Now example 7. We have this inequality. W minus 2 greater than 3. So the first step, try to remove the number in the same side with the variable, to stay the variable as alone in this side. How to remove the number? The number minus 2. Add opposite number. Add opposite number to the two sides here. So I can write here minus 2 plus 2. And the second side 3 plus 2. So now minus 2 and the plus 2 will be 0. Minus 2 and the plus 2 will be 0. So remains here W. And in the second side 3 plus 2 will be 5. So the solution here W greater than 5. W greater than 5. Example 8. We have this inequality now. 7h greater than or equal 28. 7h greater than or equal 78. The operation between 7 and h, as you know, multiplication. So we have here 7 as a quotient. How to cancel the quotient here? Try to divide the two sides by the 7. So I can write now 7h divided by 7 greater than or equal 28 divided by 7. Now 7h divided by 7 will be 1h, means h greater than or equal 28 divided by 7 will be what? Will be 4. Will be 4. So the solution now, h greater than or equal 4. In this example, here we have this inequality d over 3 less than or equal 4. So how to cancel 3 from here? Try to multiply the two sides by 3. So I can write 3 times d over 3 less than 3 times 4. But why here multiply by 3? Because the denominator here will be 3. How to remove the denominator? Multiply by the same number. Here you have 3 up and here you have 3 down. So 3 divided by 3 will be 1. Remains d. So you get here a variable as alone in this side. In the second side, 3 times 4 will be 12. So you can write d less than or equal 12. And here we have some videos. When you have a free time, you can watch it. This is our lesson today.
Mister?
Okay, now who has a question?
Mister?
Yes?
Can you go back to the presentation? I want to show you something.
Okay. Yes.
Go down, down, down. Down. Yes, here. Mister,
Yes.
this is the solution. It is all in the same lesson.
This example, to check if I have any solution, is it true for this inequality or not? So we have two cases here. The first case, not solution. The second case, yes, solution. How to know it? We want to check. How to check? Suppose we have x equal 4. So go back to the same inequality and with the value of x equal 4. So that means, is it 4 plus 3 greater than 9? I don't know as this moment. So put here question mark. Then I can check. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Now we have 7 greater than 9. Logically, this is wrong. 7 not greater than 9. 7 less than 9. So that means this inequality is wrong. So this solution make this inequality wrong. That means this solution not the suitable solution for this inequality, not the right solution for this inequality. But the second case, when we have x plus 7, substitute in the same inequality, we have 7 plus 3 greater than 9. At this moment, I don't know is it true or not. So put here question mark, then check. 3 plus 7 will be 10. Now 10 greater than 9. This is correct. This is correct. That means this solution x equals 7 make the inequality true. Means x equals 7 is the solution to this inequality. Okay?
Okay. So can you give us some examples like solve now?
Okay. Okay, now suppose we have this inequality G plus 5 less than or equal 9. Now I want to from all to open your paper or notebook and try to solve this inequality, please.
Mister, does the
Yes.
answer be less than or equal 4?
G less than or equal 4. Excellent, excellent, Ryan. Right. How? Listen how. Here we have plus 5. Try to remove plus 5. So minus 5 from the two sides. So plus 5 or minus 5 will be 0. So remains here G less than or equal 9 minus 5 will be what? Will be 4. So the solution now G less than or equal 4. Right. The next example. Suppose we have M over 4 less than 9. Now write in your notebook and try to solve it. This inequality, find the solution for this inequality.
مستر أكتب هذا؟
Yes.
Is the answer 38?
The answer 38. Check your answer.
Sure.
Check your answer. Not true.
Like what I should do?
You should do to remove 4 from here. So 4 in the denominator. So try to multiply the two sides by 4. Try to multiply the two sides by 4 to remove this 4.
Okay, 4 times 9 is 38.
4 times 9, not 38. 36. 4 times 9, 36. Please, all girls, revise the multiplication table. Very important. So 4 times 9 will be what? Will be 36. So I can write here m less than or equal 4 times 9 will be 36. Will be what? 36. Right. The next example. Suppose we have now 3n greater than 15. Now write in your notebook and find the solution for
Why?
this. How?
غلط.
صح. How but how? Explain يعني how.
But what is 3 divided by 5? 15.
Yes, you divide the two sides by the coefficient. The coefficient here 3. So 3
أنا عارف مستر أنا عارف كيف.
Yes, Sarah. Tell me.
3H بعدين شو اسمه نسوي هذا مستر شنو يسمونه هذا الخط بعدين نقطة نقطة.
Number line. No, here we want to solve, not a graph. Here we want just to solve. How to find the value of n? How to find the value of n? Who can explain? It's very easy
I
now.
can explain.
Yes. Tell me.
First, I divide. Here is multiply. So the opposite of multiply is divide. I divided 3, but 3 divided by 3 is 1. No, 3 divided by, yes, 1. And 15 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5, I mean. So the answer will be 5. Less than 5.
Excellent, Brian. So now here we can divide by 3. 3n divided by 3 remains n. So n greater than 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3 will be what? Will be 5. So this is the solution. Okay, thank you. Now I want to take the attendance now.
ترى الجواب 5.
Yes, the solution will be 5. Yes. When you hear your name, you can leave. Yes.
رح تبعت ردت على ألف ولا
مستر أنا موجودة.
Alif include this lesson. Yes.
Because I go now and I didn't find it.
When you check after 2 or 3 weeks, you can't find it. Okay, because in Alif now all lessons from the first term. طيب اليازيا موجودة؟ اليازيا here؟
نعم مستر.
Okay. Beka. Where is Beka? Okay, you can leave Beka. Rauda.
Here, Mr.
Okay, you can leave Rauda. Thank you. Sarah.
Here.
Sarah? Okay, thank you, Sarah. You can leave. Selma absent, huh? طيب. وعائشة absent. Fatima.
Yes.
Thank you, Fatima. You can leave now. Layan.
Yes.
Thank you, Layan. You can leave. If you have any question, you can ask me in WhatsApp, no problem. And with any time, no problem. Okay? Don't worry, yani. If you have any question, send me message in WhatsApp. I can answer you, inshallah. So this is our lesson today. Thank you for your listening. See you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.